Welcome, everyone, to the Apoco-Larry podcast. I'm Steve. He is
Reverend Dan Beek.
Ah, yes. A very formal, yet it's spiritually enabled person.
Yeah. I thought we'd be dignified today.
Well,
Yeah.
First time for everything, right? Let's give her a go. But my good friend, we are talking about 1 Samuel 7 today.
That's right. And I think we're starting in halfway through verse 2, just
Right.
because that we had to finish off that chapter, that thought that way. And so this is Samuel. Samuel, it's called Samuel seduces the Philistines. Okay, I'm gonna have to take the Reverend back off that. Samuel subdues the Philistines at Mizpah.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's an interesting thing. He doesn't really. He prays, and God subdues the Philistines. It's an intriguing story.
Yeah, but this is kind of the start of Samuel being a main character in Israel, right?
This is he is the main character through the next two books. Well, not really. He is the main character right now, but we're starting to move into the Kings, right? And he is super important to the first two Kings,
right?
And then he's kind of gone. Yeah.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, starting, like Larry said, halfway through verse 2, but if you're in the NIV, you'll see the same sort of subject or splits in terms of the headings for the various paragraphs. So let's start there. Then all the people of Israel turned back to the Lord. So Samuel said to all the Israelites, "If you are returning to the Lord with all your hearts, then rid yourselves of the foreign gods and Ashereths and commit yourself to the Lord and serve him only. He will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines." So the Israelites put away all their Baals and Ashereths and served the Lord only.
Now, isn't this intriguing? So when the ark comes back, remember the ark was at Shiloh, and then it went in and they used it to fight the Philistines. And then when it comes back from the Philistines after they captured it, it goes to Kiriath Jearim.
Yep.
And the Israelites kind of say, "Hey, we need to serve the Lord again." And then Samuel says to them, "Well, you need to commit your whole lives to the Lord." And they put away their Baals, and their Ashtoreths.
Yeah.
So Baal is the fertility, the god of conquering.
Mm-hmm.
The Ashtoreths were the fertility gods.
Okay.
And some people say, well, when they got into the land, they say, our crops aren't growing, and the other guys, well, you need the Baals and the Ashtoreths to get your crops to grow. And it just intrigues me that it's the old not Craig Evans, but Craig Broyles statement that you would make, that the Bible is monotheistic, but the Israelites never were. Never really were.
Yeah.
And so they've got these gods, these idols that they put before them. And he's saying, yeah, you need to get rid of that stuff. So now they get rid of it again.
Yeah.
And they'll bring it back out again. They'll, they don't actually destroy them. I think they just put them in the drawer. But now they've kind of turned back around to God again. Yeah. It's kind of funny. It's like us. I always want to say that we're not so different, are we?
No. We put our idols away for a little while, and then we pull them back out.
We pull them back out. We live under a lot more grace than they did.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Verse 5, Then Samuel said, "Assemble all Israel at Mizpah, and I will intercede with the Lord for you." When they had assembled at Mizpah, they drew water and poured it out before the Lord. On that day they fasted, and there they confessed, "We have sinned against the Lord." Now Samuel was serving as the leader of Israel at Mizpah.
Right. And Mizpah, if you recall, and I'm certainly hoping this is the same Mizpah, it's where Jacob and Esau met. Remember? May the Lord watch between you and me when we were absent from one another.
Right.
And they did that at Mizpah. And
right.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's the same place.
Yeah.
Sometimes the names, you can have the same name in different places.
Yeah. Well, it would have been called New Mizpah then, right?
Yeah. New Mizpah. So anyway, so Samuel's serving them there, and they finally come back to God here.
Verse 7. When the Israelites heard that Israel had ascended Mizpah, the rulers of the Philistines came up to attack them. When the Israelites heard of it, they were afraid because of the Philistines. They said to Samuel, "Do not stop crying out to the Lord our God for us, that he may rescue us from the hand of the Philistines." Then Samuel took a suckling lamb and sacrificed it as a whole burnt offering to the Lord. He cried out to the Lord on Israel's behalf, and the Lord answered him.
Yeah. So he did the very job of a priest at this point. Now he is a judge. He is the the last judge of Israel. But this is where he's kind of acting as a priest as well. Yeah. Remember later on, Saul will try some of this stuff and get into a lot of trouble.
Doesn't quite work so well.
But then later after that, David kind of does it, and it's okay. It gets a little confusing.
Yeah.
But that's why there are places where it suggests that he was a priest.
Yeah.
And that was okay, even though he's not Levite.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Verse 10, while Samuel was sacrificing the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to engage Israel in battle. But that day, the Lord thundered with a loud thunder against the Philistines and threw them into such a panic that they were routed before the Israelites. The men of Israel rushed out of Mizpah and pursued the Philistines, slaughtering them all the way to a point below Beth-kar.
Yeah. I like this. Eh? So the Philistines are coming to attack them. They're terrified. Samuel prays for them, and then God does this thundering thing that he does oftentimes, and it freaks out the Philistines so that they're running away, and then Israel chases them. Well, and that would just be me too. Oh, it's going our way now. Let's go get them.
Let's get them, boys.
Yeah, and slaughtering them along the way. So they're kind of hacking at them from behind as they're running. Yeah. I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they do very well. They do very well. And you remember when they took the ark, from Shiloh out to defeat the Philistines. Thousands upon thousands of them died in those battles.
Yes.
So this is a turnaround. Now this is about 20 years after those other incidents.
Okay.
I think, or it's in that span of time. So it's not. It doesn't all happen in a day or in a week.
Right.
Like it's probably only vaguely in the memory of the people there that first time that it was taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Verse 12. Then Samuel took a stone and set it up between Mizpah and Shen. He named it Ebenezer, saying, "Thus far the Lord has helped us."
Yeah, that's another Ebenezer. So there was an Ebenezer in chapter 4, and they think this is a new Ebenezer. We have that song, "Now I raise mine Ebenezer, hither by thy help thy come."
Right.
Yeah. So and the word Ebenezer, doesn't it mean God is helping us? God help. Look at the footnotes; it'll tell you again what Ebenezer means. It means God help us. Ebenezer means stone of help.
Stone of help.
Yeah, not God helps us. Stone of help. Yeah, kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. And I like it's "thus far the Lord has helped us," because they know they're going to mess up again.
Yeah. It's how's it going? Well, so far it's okay. We'll see. We'll see how the day ends.
Yeah. Verse 13 now. So the Philistines were subdued and they stopped invading Israel's territory.
Now, I'll stop you there just because the Philistines do invade again. And so some people say, well, Bible's wrong because but the suggestion then is, of course, for this time, they stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have trouble with the Philistines for a long time to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throughout Samuel's lifetime, the hand of the Lord was against the Philistines. The towns from Ekron to Gath that the Philistines had captured from Israel were restored to Israel, and Israel delivered the neighboring territory from the hands of the Philistines. And there was peace between Israel and the Amorites.
Yeah, and Ekron and Gath were two of the 5 major cities of them, right?
Right.
And Ekron was the one who said, "Hey, don't bring that thing here." Wasn't that Ekron?
Are you nuts? We want no part of this thing.
We want no part of that thing. It's bringing tumors, and how many gold tumors can we make?
Yeah.
and then there was peace between. Now the Amorites were we're often told that they were the native people of Canaan. Yeah.
Okay.
And so there was rarely peace between the Amorites and the Israelites. So it's kind of neat that they had a bit of peace.
Yeah.
So they were probably all struggling with these Philistines that came over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to know what the Philistines looked like. See, we know that Goliath and his 5 brothers were all giants.
Yeah.
And they were 9 feet tall in some of the literature. I think in the Dead Sea Scrolls they were 6 foot. He was 6'8". So a little taller than you, Steve.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you could wield a spear with a 21-pound.
I do not think I could. No, I do not think I could.
Yeah, we could lift it.
Barely.
But anyway, so I've always had this picture of the Philistines that they were all, great big, really good-looking tough guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But they might not have been. They might have been just like everybody else. They just had a couple of giants interspersed amongst them.
A bunch of Weasley-looking guys, and then there's Goliath over there.
Yeah, yeah. And they always forget that they always treat David like just a little guy with a sling. But remember, he picked up Goliath's sword and cut his head off with it.
Yeah, yeah. So no small guy.
David, by that point in time, David wouldn't have been small anymore.
No.
When Samson, you're gonna find out when Samuel first meets him pretty soon. So I will shut up about that and we'll finish this chapter.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, verse 15. Samuel continued as Israel's leader all the days of his life. From year to year, he went on a circuit from Bethel, that's what I'm trying to say, to Gilgal, to Mitzpah. It's like he's got a preaching circuit, judging Israel in all those places. But he always went back to Ramah, where his home was, and there he also held court for Israel. He built an altar there to the Lord. Yeah,
he was a very cool guy, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And so he did this little circuit. Bethel means house of God, actually. Remember, a lot of our churches, they call their church our churches Bethel.
Yeah.
Where they should have just said Bethlehem, probably.
Yeah.
House of bread. Suited them better. And he did this little circuit and did this judging thing for Israel, and they accepted him as a judge, because they would have had to accept him as a judge too.
That's true.
And away he went, and he did this thing for them. So next chapter, they're going to start asking for a king.
Yes. So they have it good, but it's not good enough for them. They want more. Can we be like the rest of the nations? They've all got kings.
Well, the other thing was he put his sons in charge, and his sons were jerks.
Oh, so he learned a lot from Eli.
Yeah, it's funny, that he raised his kids not much better than Eli raised his.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they were as bad. Eli's were horrible. They were horrible people. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh,
there we are for another week, Stephen.
Here we are. Folks, I hope you enjoyed that. What a great story of Samuel being elevated to, like Larry says, this is the judge of Israel. He judges Israel, and things are going well. And yet we're going to see in the next chapter, that's not good enough. They want more. They just want more. A little bit of a lesson there for us, and also a little bit of a lesson about trusting God here in this one. So thank you, my friend, for bringing that to light. Folks, as always, we are so very happy that you join us on this journey. We will be back next week, and then we're going to take a little 3-week break, and then we'll be back at it then too. So, but until then, I was Steve, he was Larry, and this was the Apoco-Larry Podcast.